Hello, wonderful people. Chris Odom here, ready to show you a little bit about creating subgroups and how easily we could work with those to do some reteaching by using StudySync this year. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And this feature is really a pretty simple one, and it'll be a pretty quick video. But before we jump in, just think of all the applications. Now that you know you have workbooks, you have the potential to group people even physically in your room. You may have special ed teachers, you may have co-teacher relationship, you may have push in, pull out. So there's a lot of different ways that what I'm going to show you, I think you could start to brainstorm about how it could be part of your instructional day. We're also in block scheduling. So this notion of pulling a small group or having stations and having people kind of work toward a goal specifically that they need help with. I think we have a little bit of time in our day to work that in. Okay, so when we're in StudySync, I'm just going to start from scratch so you see what you're familiar with. You'll notice that you have all the 5 tabs across the top, and we traditionally use this one, Core ELA, to find instructional materials. Instead, today we're just going to start from this other side and look at the Users tab. Okay, so when I click on Users, I really don't have to go terribly far to create a subgroup. And it's already set up for me and ready to just go ahead and say, well, let's create one. So this orange button that's in the top right-hand corner, you would simply create subgroup. You would label this name particularly something helpful for you and something, again, appropriate if it were shared with students or parents. So thinking about maybe the name of the standard that we're really focusing on, or if it's a writing group, or if we're working on introductions or something particular that you think makes sense, then I think that's where you're going to start and just group name it. I would probably decide to come up with your own system for how you do that. That way it seems to group logically when you're looking back for things. But really simply enough, because you are linked and you have all of your students rostered to you, then really you're just a matter of to start typing a student's name and they will go on this list. And you can put as many students on this list or as few students on this list as you want, and then correlate it with the group name and simply create group. Okay, I'm not going to build one right now as I am in a school site and they will see this group name at their building and wonder what it's for. But really it's that easy that you just go in here again to Users when you're in StudySync from the very start, Users, and then as long as it's under Groups, which is generally the first place it goes, then you'll just create subgroup. Okay, so again, I clicked on that, I titled it, I included some students' names, and I created group. The reason that that's so important, I'm going to show you now, is that when you go to Core ELA and you start assigning work in this integrated in reading and writing path, let's go find a little further in on our units so our videos are a little bit more current. And if I were going to go in here and assign this tab, remember that what you just did by making a group was created a new target. So that when I click in here, I would see specific groups that I had already made. And then what that'll help me do is send it to just that group of people, even in different classes, if I wanted to. They could go across class lines, which does mean that you could have groupings of students who are not even in the same hour working on the same kind of work. It really a powerful new way to think about how we could do some differentiating and how we could really target some of the specific needs we have. So again, when you're targeting, your group will be listed there, and you simply choose that as your group when you're reassigning work to students. Let's say you need to pull that small group, well then you'll know that you sent that work out and that they got individually exactly what they needed. Okay, I hope this has been helpful to you, and we're going to leave it at that.